Welcome to week 3 of the Hope Metaversity section 3 on Get a Job. This class is designed to help you get your first job. And what we do, hopefully in the coursework and the Zoom classes and the flashcards and all the training, is we work on your character development. And when that's complete, you don't need a class to figure out what to tell an employer. You're going to be a good person. You're going to be a hard worker. You're going to respect your own value. And people are going to see that. They're going to see that at your work. They're going to see that in your social circles. They're going to see that on your sports teams. They're going to see that in whatever groups you decide to choose. They're going to say, that kid right there, she's got it. I want her on my team. I want him to be part of what I'm doing. And that's what it takes. That's why people are connecting with the right kind of people in their lives. And you're doing it too. How can this person help me? And if you're one of my younger students and you're 9 years old and you're running a lemonade stand or you got a paper route, and one of the things that I wholeheartedly encourage is for younger people to start working as soon as you can. I started my grandson working at, I think it was 6. And I had the luxury of having my grandkids a lot. And I was buying little coins for the game that he was playing. And I have a tendency to be more generous than I should be to my grandkids. And I would just buy him stuff until finally it was, this was getting to be a lot of money for this thing that's silly. And so I try to tone that down. And the reaction I got from him was, please, 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 begging, please, please, please. And I thought, I'm not doing any favors to this kid. This is not a good idea. And so the next day I went with his Mimi. I said, take me to Michael's. She looked at me and said, what do you want to go to Michael's for? I said, well, I'm looking for something. I know it when I see it. Well, we ended up with these glass beads. They were green beads. And so I got a jar of them, and I got a M and a C. No, actually I got a B and a C. And I filled up all the coins in the B because my name is Big Papa to him. And I sat down with him and I said, look, here's the deal. We're no longer doing this free, points for your game or whatever. These marbles, they're worth $1. And you're going to have to work for them. So when there's a chance for you to do something, you come let me know, tell me what you did, or I'll tell you what to do and I'll watch you. And when you do that amount of work, I'm going to move one of these coins or these marbles into your jar. And then when you have a desire to spend your money that you earned on your coins, you could do whatever you want to. It's your money. You earned it. Because his parents were big, big, big advocates, and they still are, of put your money in the bank, save it for college or to start your first business or whatever, save, save, save. And I said, but you can spend this on whatever you want to because you earned it. And he was shoveling snow, taking out trash, helping his Mimi. And that changed. Big Papa, please, 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 give me. to, Big Papa, you got any work for me? And that changed the game completely. And now he's 15 years old, going on 16 years old, and he's a monster. He's working and just winning at life and doing really good. And so that was a time in my life when I learned how valuable your work ethic is. And my success in life came from my work ethic, because I had a rough childhood and I didn't get all of the formal education and things like that. And I won my place in life with grit and work ethic. And I worked until I could get myself in a better place in life and let my money work for me and not me work for me. But that's a whole different class later on. So this week's lesson is work ethic. You need to make sure that if you're not as smart as the next person, you're not as good looking as the next person, you're not as talented as the next person, you're not as strong as the next person, you will beat all of those people in getting a job and everything else generally in life, because you can outwork them. You work as hard and as long as it's needed for you to make the team, for your friends to say, that guy works hard, I want him on my team. For employers to talk to you and to say, this is a guy we need to have on our team. This is a young lady that we want to have working here. And you need to be accountable to that. And when you make a mistake, you need to readily admit it and fix it. You need to be about training yourself. I want you to learn about Google, YouTube, and AI. And I want you to learn. I want you to get the answers that you seek first before you're asking somebody, hey, do you know how to run this whatever? Well, I was watching some videos and trying to get myself prepared for today because I knew you wanted me to run the whatever it was. And your employer's going to say, you already been studying on how to do this? Well, I've got some basics, but I want to learn from you. You are going to get picked every single time. But also realize that reputations are built over years and years and years of accountable behavior, trustworthiness, but that reputation can be busted by one lie, one lapse, one thing that is out of character. So be careful, build your reputation, and absolutely make sure that no one can ever say anything negative about you. And I tell you, I was in business for 25 years in Denver, and there is not one person that can come to you and say, Mark Hope didn't do what he said he was going to do. Mark Hope didn't go over and above the call of duty. And find that person, and I want to talk to them. I don't care who they are. So this is going to end my lecture on this week's subject of accountability. We'll go over it in your lessons, and we will go over it at the Zoom, and you guys can answer and ask all the questions you need. And I'm proud of you for being here.